Introduction. Who are you living for? Let me ask you something. Who are you living for right now? Are you chasing your dreams, following your purpose, and living authentically? Or are you spending your energy trying to prove yourself to people who will never truly see or value you? You know the ones I'm talking about. They doubt you. They criticize you. They make you feel like no matter what you do, it's never good enough. And somewhere along the way, you started to believe them. Here's the hard truth. You can't win someone's approval if they're committed to misunderstanding you. Some people will never see your worth because they're too wrapped up in their own insecurities to recognize greatness in others. But today, we're going to stop that cycle. We're going to break free from the need to prove yourself to anyone but you. Because here's the truth, you don't need their approval. You need your own. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. Why we seek validation. Seeking validation is human. It's wired into our DNA. From the time we're kids, we learn to look to others for approval, to tell us we're good enough, smart enough, worthy enough. But as we grow, this need for validation can become a trap. We start measuring our worth based on other people's opinions. And when we don't get the validation we crave, we feel like we're not enough. Why we crave approval? Fear of rejection. We want to be liked, to belong, to fit in. Low self-worth. When we don't believe in ourselves, we look to others to fill the gap. Conditioning. Society teaches us to seek external validation instead of internal confidence. The problem with seeking approval. When you base your worth on someone else's opinion, you give them power over your life. Their doubts become your doubts. Their limitations become your limitations. And their inability to see your value holds you back from living authentically. Action step. Take a moment to reflect. Who am I seeking approval from, and why? Write it down. Awareness is the first step to freedom. Chapter 2. The emotional cost of proving yourself. Trying to prove yourself to people who will never understand you is exhausting. It's like running a race with no finish line. No matter how hard you try, it's never enough. What it costs you. Your peace. You're constantly worrying about what they think. Your confidence. Their criticism makes you doubt your abilities. Your energy. You waste time and effort trying to win over people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Personal story. I once worked with a man who spent years trying to win his father's approval. No matter what he achieved, a promotion, a new home, a loving family, his father always found something to criticize. It wasn't until he stopped chasing his father's validation that he finally felt free. Action step. Ask yourself, what has trying to prove myself cost me emotionally, mentally, and physically? Write it down and acknowledge the toll it's taken. Chapter 3. You can't please everyone. Let me tell you something freeing. No matter what you do, some people will never be satisfied. It's not because you're not good enough. It's because their approval, or lack of it, has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. Why some people will never understand you. Insecurity. They project their own fears and limitations onto you. Jealousy. Your success makes them uncomfortable because it highlights what they haven't achieved. Different values. They don't see the world the way you do, and that's okay. Mindset shift. Instead of trying to please everyone, focus on staying true to yourself. Your job isn't to make everyone happy, it's to live a life that makes you proud. Action step. Make a list of people whose opinions you've been prioritizing. Then, ask yourself, do I value their judgment? Do they align with my values? Chapter 4. The power of living authentically. Here's the truth. The people who matter will love and respect you for who you are, not who they want you to be. When you live authentically, you attract the right people into your life, the ones who see your worth, support your dreams, and celebrate your success. How to live authentically. Define your values. What matters most to you? What do you stand for? Set boundaries. Protect your energy by saying no to people and situations that don't align with your values. Be true to yourself. Stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. Personal story. I worked with a woman who spent years pretending to be someone she wasn't to fit in with her social circle. When she finally embraced her true self, quirks and all, she found deeper connections and happiness than she ever imagined. Action step. Write down one way you can start living more authentically this week. Chapter 5. Stop explaining yourself. Let me make something clear. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your dreams, choices, or goals. When you constantly explain yourself, you're asking for permission to live your life. But guess what? You don't need their permission. You're the CEO of your own life. How to stop explaining yourself. Own your choices. Be confident in your decisions, even if others don't understand them. Use simple responses instead of over-explaining. Say, "This feels right for me," or "This is what I want." Let go of the need for approval. Remember, you're not responsible for their understanding. You're responsible for your happiness. Action step. The next time someone questions your choices, respond with confidence. Practice a simple, clear answer like, "This is the path I've chosen." Chapter 6. Reclaiming your confidence. Here's the thing. When you're constantly trying to prove yourself to others, you chip away at your confidence. You start to question your worth, your choices, and even your abilities. But here's the truth. Your confidence isn't something others can give you. It's something you build from within. How to reclaim your confidence. Celebrate your wins. Too often, we dismiss our accomplishments because they're not big enough. Stop waiting for others to clap for you. Celebrate yourself. Focus on progress, not perfection. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up, learning, and growing. Affirm your worth. Speak to yourself with the kindness and encouragement you wish others would give you. Personal story. I once coached a young woman who felt crushed by her boss's constant criticism. She doubted her abilities and started second-guessing every decision. We created a win journal where she recorded every accomplishment, no matter how small. Over time, she stopped needing her boss's approval. She built her own confidence by recognizing her value. Action step. Start a win journal today. Every evening, write down 3 things you accomplished or did well, no matter how small. Chapter 7. Letting go of toxic relationships. Let's get real. Not everyone in your life deserves a front row seat. Some people are like anchors. They hold you back, weigh you down, and keep you stuck in cycles of doubt and negativity. Letting go of these relationships isn't easy, but it's necessary if you want to thrive. How to identify toxic relationships? They constantly criticize you. Their words chip away at your confidence. They drain your energy. You feel exhausted or anxious after spending time with them. They don't celebrate your wins. Instead of supporting you, they downplay or dismiss your success. How to let go? Set boundaries, limit your interactions, and protect your energy. Have the conversation. If possible, communicate your feelings honestly and respectfully. Release the guilt. Remember, letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care about yourself enough to prioritize your well-being. Personal story. I once worked with a man who stayed in a friendship that constantly tore him down. When he finally set boundaries and distanced himself, he felt lighter, freer, and more focused on his goals. Action step. Identify one toxic relationship in your life and take a small step to create distance this week. Chapter 8. Surrounding yourself with the right people. When you stop chasing the approval of the wrong people, you create space for the right people to enter your life. These are the people who see you, value you, and uplift you. How to build a supportive circle. Seek out like-minded individuals. Join communities, groups, or activities that align with your values and passions. Prioritize quality over quantity. It's better to have a few genuine connections than a large circle of people who don't truly support you. Be the energy you want to attract. Show up as a supportive, encouraging person, and you'll naturally draw the same kind of people into your life. The power of positive relationships. The right people will remind you of your greatness on days when you forget. They'll challenge you to grow, celebrate your wins, and stand by you when times get tough. Action step. Reach out to someone who inspires or uplifts you. Schedule a coffee, a call, or a conversation. Start nurturing the relationships that fuel your soul. Chapter 9. The freedom of living for yourself. Let me ask you this. What would your life look like if you stopped trying to prove yourself to anyone? When you let go of the need for external validation, you step into a life of freedom. You stop worrying about what others think, and you start living for what truly matters to you. How to live for yourself. Define your vision. What do you want your life to look like? What lights you up? Make decisions that align with your values. Stop saying yes to please others and start saying yes to what aligns with your goals. Practice self-compassion. On the days when self-doubt creeps in, remind yourself that you are enough exactly as you are. Personal story. I worked with a woman who had spent her entire life chasing her family's approval. When she finally decided to live for herself, she pursued a career she was passionate about, met a community that celebrated her, and felt a sense of freedom she never thought possible. Action step. Write down one way you can start living for yourself this week. What's one decision you can make that's entirely for you? Chapter 10, Owning Your Power and Worth. Here's the ultimate truth. You don't need anyone's permission to be amazing. You already are. Your worth isn't up for debate. It's not something you have to prove or earn. It's inherent. The sooner you own that truth, the sooner you can stop wasting energy on people who don't see it. Steps to own your power. Acknowledge your strengths. Write down everything you're proud of, your achievements, your qualities, your values. Own them. Let go of what you can't control. You can't control how others see you, but you can control how you see yourself. Step into your greatness. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into someone else's version of who you should be. Be unapologetically you. Final challenge. Take one bold step this month to own your worth. Whether it's pursuing a dream, setting a boundary, or simply saying, I am enough, do it. Final words, you are enough. Let me leave you with this, you are enough. You've always been enough. Stop chasing the approval of people who can't see your light. Stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you're worthy. This is your life. It's time to take back your power, reclaim your confidence, and live authentically. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone but you. So go out there and shine. The right people will see your light, and more importantly, you will see it. Let's go!